The SS Canberra sailed from New York with a capacity cargo of almost 2,000 people and over $1 million worth of scientific equipment on June 22nd, 1973.
This is the bridge. This is
The city lights twinkled a farewell as our ship headed east to the African coast.
Starboard side of the promenade deck. Canberra will be sailing in 9 minutes' time.
Dr. Fred Hess of the State University of New York welcomed us on board the following morning and introduced the famous staff who would turn this ship into a floating mini-university for the next 2 weeks. Don Hall, director of the Strassenberg Planetarium, and George Hamilton, director of the Fels Planetarium, take their bows. Free lecture tickets were more valuable than money. Dr. Edward Brooks of Boston College held lectures on meteorology and was responsible for positioning the ship during the eclipse so that we would be in clear weather.
On board, if you once get over in the ocean, it's very hard to pick you up. So it's better to stay on board if you have a choice.
Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon, and Scott Carpenter, an astronaut and modern exploration pioneer, were popular lecturers. Dr. Isaac Asimov, author of more than 140 books on science and science fiction, could always be counted on for entertainment and enlightenment. Ship's officers held panels chaired by the captain of the Canberra, Captain Eric Snowden. And for the very young passenger, there was Dr. Franklin Branley, former chairman of the Hayden Planetarium. The full list of lecturers was really a scientific who's who, and included in part Dr. Chamberlain of the Adler Planetarium, Dr. Hynek of the Dearborn Observatory, Dr. Smiley of Brown University, Walter Sullivan of the New York Times, and Dr. Verschure of the Fisk Planetarium. Dr. Vincent Schaefer, the discoverer of cloud seeding, here samples air over a part of the ocean. As part of the program he ran for more than the 100 young people on board taking part in experiments at sea for teenagers. At one time, the ship was detoured on a mercy mission to pick up a seaman who had suffered a heart attack on another vessel 200 miles away. These teenagers worked through the night, reassembling tin cans, screwdrivers, meters, and old TV sets into a defibrillator and electrocardiograph to aid the stricken man when he was on board. Lectures and activities kept passengers so busy that the tour of the bridge was a sidelight, competing with lectures on the UFO experience, the radio image of our galaxy, or Mayan archaeoastronomy. For those with a theatrical flair, on board the production of the musical The Boyfriend and several talent shows and reviews was led by Jack Platt and Aidan Lewis of Newark State College, Dr. Davidson from City College, and noted stage designer David Houston. En route to our rendezvous with the moon's shadow, we made a call on Tenerife in the Canary Islands. A second stop was made after the eclipse at Dakar in Senegal. But Tenerife was the first chance in almost a week that we had to feel land beneath us again. A short but lovely landfall. Sailing south now, we headed for our destination, a point in the ocean midway between Mauritania and the Cape Verde Islands. Tempo picked up as passengers practiced daily to refine their telescope techniques. People of all ages and backgrounds tried their hands. Some new and inexperienced. And others, like Luc Secretan, veteran of several eclipse expeditions, and an old hand at catching the sun.
Born in 1899.
In 1899, Zurich.
How many eclipses have you seen?
I think that's number 6.
This is number 6.
I
Have you ever gone this kind of a trip for an eclipse?
Dr. Brooks held weather briefings with satellite photos to keep us informed.
Various sources on what
As
the weather's
Eclipse
doing,
Day
besides
drew
what's
near,
happening here
the
locally.
ship became cluttered with equipment as people
things we have to
staked
guard
out their
against.
turf
One is the
and
layer of
practiced in
haze,
earnest
dust, and sand,
for
and
E
the other
Day.
is 2 layers of clouds. And I wanted to show you the distributions of these clouds and which way they're moving. Let me first
Even several days before the big event, the deck began to look like a forest of tripods.
Well, now they had even said it started at 1,000.
If you have it on your camera.
Oh, yeah. I have an exact, and it goes from 1,000 down to 30th or 25th or something.
Whatever your camera has, so you can increase it.
Saturday morning dawned dark and forbidding, and it seemed we were socked in by clouds. But joyously, between 8:30 and 9, the clouds broke, and people observed the first contact in clear weather. As the sun shrunk to a smaller crescent in the sky, excitement built on board. Leif Robinson of Sky and Telescope kept us informed via the PA of the passage of time until the sun finally disappeared behind the moon in a magnificent diamond ring that heralded an even more awesome corona. Although this was the longest total solar eclipse the Earth would experience until the year 2150, it seemed like only moments before we were squinting at another superb diamond ring that seemed to outshine the first as we cheered the returning sun. The final partial phases occupied us for the next hour with photography and viewing, but for many people, the magic moment froze them at 10:30 a.m. We all gathered on the games deck for the post-eclipse ceremony. There, prizes were awarded, and the eclipse flag was unfurled and raised to the topmost mast, proclaiming to the world that the Canberra had taken part in an eclipse expedition. The sight of the sun has a new meaning to anyone who has seen it eclipsed. Canberra cruise participants have memories that time can only enhance.
أنزلناك الكتاب بالحق فاعبد الله مخلصا له الدين ألا لله الدين الخالص والذين اتخذوا من دونه أولياء ما نعبدهم
I think that's a prayer for clear skies. At least let's hope so.
الله زلفى إن الله يحكم بينهم فيما هم فيه يختلفون.
Has the qualified support of the Unionist leader, Mr. Faulkner. From Belfast, Philip Whitby.
The results which have been coming in during the night have confirmed earlier predictions that the future of the British government's white paper proposals appears to be hanging on the results.
As I'm concerned, there is a priest aboard, you know, who has gone to see 5 eclipses and has missed 5.
Is that right?
And I've been saying I think we ought to put him in a rowboat and give him a long line, let him be behind us. I don't know him. This isn't personal at all, but it's